Every piece of art is fun, but each piece of art is fun in its own way. Today I'll show you a quick and easy painting that's fun for things like coloring from a coloring sheet, which you can download from the link below, or painting this one at a paint party. If you host a paint party or if you go to one, you can suggest this. Each one always comes out different than the last, and yours will be different as well. I will stop at the point where you can add on your own satire to it and begin to modify it the way you'd like to modify it. Welcome to Dan's Art Shop. I'll narrate throughout and share my thoughts and process. Enjoy, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the tail and come on, work my way down. You can start at any point you want to. I'm going to bring that tail down, or the trunk of the tail, or whatever that part of the body anatomy is called. And come around and put in the body, front part. Of that. Put in the body there of this animal. Put the eyeball in there. Start out lining up with the color of the whale. I can thicken up that tail a little bit. Anybody can do this. This is a great little picture to do if you host paint parties, or if you go to a paint party, you can suggest this. I see I forgot to put on my lucky bracelet. That's because I didn't put my watch on. If I don't put my watch on, I forget to put my bracelet on. So we're just filling this in and making sure it's all not too transparent there. the camera there a little bit. Do a little outline in there. Start putting in the dark negative space behind it a little bit. Get out that big white spot right there. I forgot to mention this, but if you go back and look at the beginning of the video, you can see that inside that whale's body there was the image of a dog. There was a couple of eyes, and you can see his nose and his mouth, and you can see some images in the background and stuff. Keep those images in mind, because you can sketch them out when you see that. Commit them to your memory bank, and then if you draw caricatures or paint parties or whatever, you might want to use those images that develop through painting other pictures. That's going to be the beginning of the mountain and the water waves right there. I started to go to the soundproof studio today, but I opted not to make that drive. So I'm here in my home studio, so you might hear some noises in the background a little bit. We're going to put that eye in right there. I'm playing around with it a little bit there. I'm making it dark, I'm making it gray. I'm going to add some white and make it white, because I'm not really sure what I want to do with that eye at this point. So we'll play with it there a little bit and leave it alone and move on to something else and let that rest in there. We'll figure it out in a minute. Again, at this point, I'm just kind of playing around with it, trying to figure out somewhere to go with it, honestly. See, there's a car in the background without a muffler. I'm not sure if you're picking that up or not. I'm going to do a little darker background. You can see it's shaping up to be a starry, starry night. Got a lot of traffic outside in the big city here. I don't know if my microphone's picking up all that traffic or not. I'll find out after I play it back. I suspect the sirens will start blaring outside here in a few minutes. I'm surprised we haven't heard one yet. There I'm starting to develop the nighttime scenery. I work with dark a lot. I just always find it a lot more mysterious and captivating for me, as opposed to bright, happy, cheerful, colorful colors. I use color more for seasoning, like a salt and pepper, or put seasoning on your food. I've never been one of these painters that can just paint out a bright, happy, giant bouquet of colorful flowers Not my style. I've always seen my art a little bit on the dark side. Like I said, I'm going to stop this where at the point to where you can take over and just start creating whatever you want to create. When that water gets finished, if you want to get really majestic and let's see, what's the word I'm looking for, sort of fantasy type look, you can have that water flowing out of that little bay down into its fin. Might be a good idea to do something like that. Now I'm going to see what that eye is going to look like with some white in there. At this point, it's not definite it's going to stay like that, but just kind of playing with it and seeing what it's going to look like. I actually don't like, I find out later I don't like that eye, or I don't like that tree, excuse me, I don't like that tree running up through that eye like that, or that close to that eye. So you'll see here in a minute where I'm going to paint out that tree and move it over. Put a little, put some sway in that branch. Still not certain what kind of eye expression at this point that I want to give it. No matter what you're doing, if you're painting something like this, or a real portrait, a characterized drawing out in public or whatever, you always want to remember to grab the characteristic and the expression of the eye, the eyes, or the eye. I don't know how many of them you're drawing there. When you're drawing a character and you capture those eye expressions, you don't really need a nose expression. You just have to keep the nose within its appropriate template. And then the mouth is almost an expression as important as the eye. And they kind of work together. If you experiment on yourself and you give yourself a big old grin, you'll notice that your eyes can't help but to squint and get happy if it's a real sincere grin. And then if you open your eyes and give a happy look and a gleeful look with your eyes, your mouth can't help but to move. And if you draw a picture of a face without the eyes and an expressive mouth, you can pretty much tell the expression of the person. And if you draw the expression of the eyes and leave out the mouth, you can pretty much tell the expression of the person. And then when you put them both in there together, then you've captured the face. We'll talk about that later when I'm demonstrating a caricature drawing. or a real face. Might do some real face paintings. Those are my specialty. My specialty is the face. I know you heard that motorcycle. I was waiting for one of those to go by. I know you heard that too. Getting a little sound effects in here, huh? Now that green doesn't stand out very much up against that blue because they're the same value and green contains blue. So later on, and I don't know if I'm going to show that, I'm probably not going to show that in this video, but we'll add some light and dark greens to that tree, just make it pop out.